Now, sometimes you're going to have to change the subject of a formula, and you don't need to worry too much about what this means in terms of this terminology. Just focus on the following. So, of course, you know that the speed of an object is equal to the distance it travels divided by the time it takes to travel the distance of time. So, if you don't know the speed, once you're given the distance and the time, you can actually calculate the speed. So if you don't know the speed of an object, but you're told it travels a distance of 20 kilometers in, say, 1 hour, you know that the speed of this object is, well, 20 divided by 1, which is 20. Then the units, kilometers per hour, which is what you can see here, kilometers per hour. So you know the speed of that object. Sometimes you might be given the speed or the average speed, and you'll be given the time, and then you could be asked to find out the distance traveled by the object. So what do I mean? So imagine a scenario where you're told that the speed of a moving object is 30 kilometers per hour. And they're told that that object covers a certain distance in a time of, let's say, 2 hours. So it travels at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour, and it moves for 2 hours. They're now asking us what the distance it travels in that time. So what distance did this object travel in 2 hours if it was moving at an average speed of 30 kilometers per hour? So that's an interesting question, and that's one you are likely to face. So what do? All you simply do is what we call making a term the subject formula. You have to make the distance the subject of formula. Basically, what you want to be able to say is that the distance is equal to something. So what's the distance equal to? Well, the distance is simply equal to speed times time. And all you do is you think of this as cross multiplication. So think of speed as, there are two ways you can do this. You can actually, first of all, just remember that distance is actually speed times time. So you can commit this to memory. That's one way. So that's your safest way. So make sure you do that. The second way is that you think of it as cross multiplication. So this might seem slightly complicated, but it's not. Just say, well, speed is the speed divided by 1. Anything divided by 1 is itself. And you know the speed is a number. Anyway, the next thing is you cross multiply. So speed times time is equal to distance times 1. Anything times 1 is itself. So speed times time is equal to, or let's do it this way. Distance times 1 is distance is equal to speed times time, speed times time. So the first way is just remember that the distance is speed times time. The second way is that once you know that the speed is distance over time, you can just do this cross multiplication and also arrive at this expression. So in this case, what's the distance traveled by the object? It's the speed, which is 30 kilometers per hour, times the time taken, which is 2 hours. So the distance traveled by this object is 30 times 2, which is 60. Then we have kilometers per hour times hours. So I'll write it this way, kilometers per hour times hours. So they just cancel out because they're just units. So we have the distance is 60 kilometers. And if you think about it, one of the units of distance I mentioned earlier is kilometers. So the answer to this question is 60 kilometers.